30 minutes of friends talk about everything that matters to women. Welcome to the lounge.
Within these years, the weekend is supposed to be for me to just relax and sit with myself, away from my kids, keeping them with my family.
wow.
And just, let's say, have your own free zone. Like, tell me about the weekend.
Well, usually Hiba, my weekend is sometimes some alone time and other times is like family time and with kids. I try to balance it out, but you know, even when I get some me time or alone time, I like it's boring, you know, if it happens like every weekend, let's say. So I do like a very fair balance. So, you know, getting to gatherings every here and there, having some time, you know, spending some time alone, getting some time to relax, and then other times spending it with people, you know, just a fair balance.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping. I'm sleeping the whole weekend. Don't talk to me. Don't call me. I'm not replying to your text. I don't know my schedule. If I schedule something, I'm not going.
It's so bad. I keep making plans for Fridays,
Right.
but I never make it. And I'm not even making excuses. I'm just like, I'm not coming.
Yeah.
Like, as simple as that. And I
done.
noticed my parents started avoiding me on Fridays. My parents, my sister. I don't get it. I have no idea. Apparently, I'm really cranky on Fridays if anyone talks to me. So it's not just that I don't want to do anything and I want to sleep and watch TV. I also don't want to be talked to. I don't want anyone calling me. So
Is this for every weekend?
yeah,
Most probably, yeah.
I feel really judged.
As much as I can, to be fair, because like for me,
Yeah.
Friday's a family day.
Right.
100%, I'm going to see my family, my aunties and everyone. But I'm sleeping, so whenever I wake up, whenever I'm attending, I'm doing that. So don't ask me where were you. I'm in my bed. Yeah,
So what about Saturday?
it's a. Okay, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'll be meeting my friends on Saturday, but it has to be like a month prior of a meeting, and it has to be from like 2 to 4. Because after that, I'm going straight to sleep again. And then before that, I'm still in my bed, so I wake up super late. So don't hold the.
understand.
Yeah, so
I
I'm like, you
understand.
only got this time, 2 to 4. That's the only
Right.
time. That's the only slot.
Regardless of what you're doing on the weekend, if you are someone that still wakes up early on
God
the
forbid.
weekend,
God forbid.
I'm proud of you. I'm like applauding
Opposite
you.
reaction.
I cannot do it. Honestly, if I wake up and it's like 11, I'm like, nope, back to sleep. I will force
You will
myself
force
to go back to
yourself.
sleep. Yeah.
Okay. Since Hiba is a mom and I'm a
You're
mom,
so lucky.
do you wake up in the morning and on
Yes.
weekends? Okay,
When do I sleep, actually? Like, when is the time do I sleep?
I
Like,
can relate.
yeah, like once you keep them in bed, like one of them has to be awake. It's like always, if someone is sleeping, the other one is guarding. You know, it's
Yes.
like
Right.
I'm here, I'm still here. And once they sleep, it's like almost morning, and you just want to relax. I mean, you don't have time to watch whatever series you want to watch, movie, anything. Like, I really would love to watch something until the end.
Right.
Not opening my eyes that everything is closed, you know. This is where the most, let's say, conflict that I have in life. And then the next morning, the first one who slept starts to be the first one to wake.
Of
And it's not alone. You have to wake up. Like, Hiba, you have to wake up.
Of
I'm
course.
like, why do I have to wake up? It's Friday.
Yeah.
You know, like, to me, the weekend actually is different from season to season. Like, if it's winter, then it's the one that I stay at home. I would go to the mall and stuff like that, but it's mainly staying at home. But when it's summer, it's always about going to the beach and going to swimming pools. So as much as I want to, I don't want to have any kind of, let's say, obligation to meet with anyone, just spend time with my family and friends. And unfortunately, each Saturday I used to have a shooting. So it's either
wow.
in the middle of my Thursday, and then Friday the whole day, and then the next day I have to go back. If I'm at Khairan, I have to go back because I have a shooting on Saturday. So it's very challenging to stay on a happy weekend when it comes into
Right.
my schedule. But I mean, once I have a day, I would immediately never waste it.
Definitely. That's why I feel like the past weekend was not a weekend for me, because I had to go out on a Friday and I was really annoyed about that. Right? I had to grow up and leave the house. And then Saturday I had to run errands to be able to go back to work on Sunday. So buying clothes for work, taking things to the laundry. So it didn't feel like a weekend, and I feel like I need a refund on that. ASAP.
You do,
Yeah.
because put in mind, your working schedule is insane. You're working all week, all morning, all night long. So we deserve the weekend. We deserve that rest.
Right.
Your body needs to breathe for a second because
Right.
it's been overwhelming and it's just exhausting.
One of the things that it's keeping being stuck in my mind is one of my aunts actually told me something. She was like, don't get really exhausted in work within your age because this is the age where you're supposed to live
Girl.
and enjoy.
Right.
And you know, you never feel let's say that these kind of words until it hits you. Like recently I've been, let's say, walking and being busy and I'm like, when am I going to really live the moment and enjoy it? You know, it's like I'm in my 30s and I want to, let's say, accomplish many things, but there's always work, you know, and being
Right.
busy. So I was like, oh my God.
Yes, you know, Hiba, since you opened that up, what do you guys think, you know, that some things that can help actually with that, you know, working at the same time and living, you know, living your life. So what
Exactly.
things that you can do? that
It
can
is
help
so
you?
common to work from home now. Very common. For example, if you're at an office, or for example, our job, we still have to look at scripts at home or, you know, be in contact with the team. So it feels like our life is very integrated with being at work or at the studio. But what I started doing for myself is being a bit selfish. Sorry to the team that's listening to this, but I am just gonna do my job and I'm gonna leave. So I try to cut down on everything else because I remember the first few years when it came to being on TV, I would take the script and I would give myself an hour or two at night to go through it, personalize my intros, personalize like something for each and every guest, like an intro for the guest, an outro for the guest. And I used to do all these things. And now for me, no, as Hiba mentioned, I want to live, right? I'm still in my, literally just turned 30. So I still have the energy and I want to use it and I want to see my friends and even just be at home and do nothing and have the calmness of being at home. So now I'm not fixing a script. I'm not doing anything I'm not meant to do. I just focus on, I think it's enough doing the hair and makeup, honestly. Like if
That
our
is a
call
job.
time is
That
6
is a
p.m.,
job.
we're getting ready at 3, easy, like 3 hours before. So I feel like that's enough getting ready for work.
Girl, I'm too tired. Honestly, and I'm not even like 28 yet, and I'm exhausted. I'm ready to retire. Like if I did, I swear I would have been done with this job a long time ago. I'm too exhausted. It's just because I don't have a fixed schedule, so it's all over the place. I do work in the weekends sometimes. It's the whole week is full. I cannot breathe for a second.
I mean, you're like completely. You know, we have this phase now. Recently, it's more of a meme, like too poor to quit, too young to retire.
Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
I don't know if it's a vibe that we're living. You know, sometimes you really get influenced by what actually appears in social media. And recently, all of this vibe is actually happening. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I don't want to do this. I want to live. Everything is complicated. Like sometimes I feel it's more of a vibe that we're getting into it. We have to, let's say, take ourselves out of it for a while. You know, just. Try to enjoy, as we just said, try to live and
Yes.
enjoy. But yet again, I mean, it's the weekend. I mean, do you
Exactly.
remember when you used to go outside when it's the weekend? Like we used to count the
Yes.
days. Like
Yeah.
when it's going to be,
Exactly.
let's say Thursday after 4 days from now, and then we do plans and we force our parents to go out and do the
Definitely.
schedule.
Girl, we don't have that no more. I,
mean,
don't
even
have the
kids-
Thursdays no
Even-
more.
I mean, even kids nowadays, they don't really think
Yeah.
about it that way. Like they
No.
don't think about the weekend
No.
to go out, but they want to gather with their other cousins so that they could play
Yeah.
an online game together.
The world changed.
Exactly.
It's super fast. The technology is insane. And then you're talking about there's always the next thing. There's always something new to do. So back at the time, it was way slower. Like
Exactly.
it's just you need to do your job. You can always make money on the side, but the weekends is for you.
It's for you,
It's for
for
your
sure.
family, for you to rest. But now it's like it's a hustle.
Yeah.
It's like you gotta be a hustler in this
Let
life.
me tell you
Exactly.
something. Let me
It's
tell you
not like-
something. Like, there's a coffee, let's say a cafe, and every Friday this cafe gets really busy from 10 to 12. And once you enter that cafe, everyone has their own laptop
Wow.
and business owners, and everyone starts to talk about it. You can see them very, let's say, occupied when it comes into their own business. And I remember once going there and I felt really out of the area. Like, why am I here? Like
Yeah.
everyone is actually working. And then I started taking my laptop with me,
Oh wow.
just turning it
She
on
confirmed.
and just like that, you know, feeling the vibes. Like this is when you get influenced. But I mean, it's the weekend. You're supposed to go and enjoy your time, not have meetings and
It's
having
so
that
true.
kind of,
Definitely
let's
not.
say, work in the morning. Like it's always between 10 and 12.
I wanted that life.
Honestly,
I wanted it when I was younger.
That you
Oh,
have to
I
go.
was like, I'm gonna be
Exactly.
a boss girl. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have meetings on the weekend. I'm gonna get my laptop. I'm gonna go to that cafe, and I love that vibe. I was like, oh my God,
Right.
this is so cool. Now
no.
I'm retired.
No, sorry.
I'm
I
retired.
had that in the beginning of my career and I refuse to have that again. Honestly,
So
like
much.
filming once in a blue moon on the weekend is okay,
Yeah.
but
Other
it's
than
not going to
that,
happen every weekend.
Yeah.
Yes, I know this. I know this conversation is so interesting, and I can't wait to continue. But let's go ahead and take this break.
So when it comes into the weekend, I mean, I'm very sure everyone has their own plans, getaway. Tell us about that. Like, what do you actually do?
I don't go nowhere.
Nowhere.
I've been like, that's why I'd be asking people. I'm like, where do you actually go? Like, usually, if you have like something pretty quick, I would go to like Bahrain or Dubai or
Yeah.
Qatar, like for the sake of it,
Amazing,
because it's like,
yeah.
you know, it's fun, it's close,
And it's near.
something to get like out of the usual routine. But other than that, I'm staying at home, girl. I don't want to go nowhere.
Yeah, honestly, when I had a bit more energy, so at least like before COVID took all the energy out
Yeah,
of me,
it's so
right? The pandemic. Before that, I would do a 6 hours flight on Thursday and come back Saturday night. So I would literally go to London for
Yeah.
literally just all of Thursday. Yeah, take an early morning flight, have all of Friday.
It's amazing.
And then end of day Saturday fly back. And it honestly works. Like 6 hours to me is fine. But
Yeah.
now since we have less energy and we are more homebodies,
I feel less time too. You know, time is
Yeah.
so fast.
we don't have that.
And you know, I can agree getting some, you know, some weekends that are like a just stay at home weekend. But you know, you need to get like here and there every once in a while just to, as you said, you know, have some twist to your routine. And going somewhere very close is very
Exactly.
helpful.
Yeah, I mean, I used to do that. I used to go to Dubai for a whole day and then come back.
Exactly.
It's because I feel like I'm really exhausted because of work, and I'll be like, you know what? I'll just go in the morning and come at night. It was very fun and healthy. And one of the things that I also find, even when it comes into trips, as you just said, Fawzia, to me, it's always about the season. Like, for instance, talking about Al Khafji, they used to have this winter season, and it's very actually nearby. It's almost 1 hour and a half when it comes
Exactly.
into let's say a distance, especially if you're going from Al Khairan, it's even more closer. I mean, it's always great to have that kind of, let's say, ideas and thoughts to keep in mind. Like for a certain country, a specific season is very good, and it's a very beautiful getaway for you to go, especially on the weekends. To me, I never tried after having kids to have this kind of getaway, like especially going to Bahrain with them in the car. It's never. Like I
Right.
would go, like I went with my cousins and my family, and driving from Saudi Arabia to Bahrain is really fun, but never thinking that I would be able to take my girls. Like it's something that I want to do, but I'm very terrified, you know, of having that kind of experience. It's like I will travel with my young cousins.
Yeah.
9 years old is fine.
Yeah.
But my daughters is like no.
I feel like driving is a bit hard, honestly, with children. I would rather just do a flight. If you're going to Bahrain, it's like 50 minutes. Honestly, like you don't even have enough time to get comfortable in your seat and you're already landing. So maybe try it on a flight to
Even
Bahrain.
on a flight, like because you never took a flight with kids. Oh my god!
Oh, I know. How old
are they?
I mean, they're 4 and almost 4 and 6 now. But I mean, first of all, they're very social. Like they're leaving me and going with
Yeah.
other people.
Yeah.
It's like no.
Don't do
Stranger
that.
danger.
So what happens is they start to get annoyed because they're not sitting with their new friends.
Oh wow.
And they'll get
Oh.
annoyed because they are just being seated in their own
Yeah.
seat and they, like Talia cannot reach the screen.
Mhm.
And even when it comes into the air set, like if they want to hear, it's a very, let's say, big size for her,
Yes.
and she cannot put it in her ear. And there used to be a very old hair set where it's actually all
Yeah.
over the ear. And
Yeah.
it'll be like she'll be annoyed. Why cannot I hear to what's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
valid. She has the right to question what's going on.
So imagine this kind of conflict, and you're like trying to tell her, you know what, it's fine. And then the food comes, and she'll be like, what's that?
Yeah.
Why is it something I don't really like or enjoy? So
Yes.
imagine like this.
There's a list of
Oh my
complaints
God,
on
like
that flight.
going in the
So-
car is much better than going on a flight.
I would have never
Exactly.
expected, honestly.
She's
I-
her own
Yes.
character.
Yeah.
Because I think, you know, even though it's a flight or a drive, you will be like 100% occupied the whole time. It's either a complaint or something that you have to do with the kids, or staying away from stranger danger, as you said, and just keeping an eye on them. So you're never free, you know. But you can try going in a, like a nice drive.
Right.
It will be,
I'll try.
chaotic,
Girl,
I
no.
think.
Yeah.
But
Honestly, no.
I'm team no, honestly.
No,
Yeah,
because
I'm
I've done
siding
this with my
Fawzi,
nephew
yeah.
and niece.
Try new adventures.
Girl, no,
Yeah.
I'm not trying no adventures with kids.
No adventures.
Stay at home with your
Especially on my
parents.
weekends.
Yes.
Yeah, don't
I mean,
ruin it.
One of the things that I really did, which is similar to you, is going to Bangalore.
Oh,
India.
wow.
And it was only for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I reached Kuwait Sunday. I went immediately to work,
Yes.
and I went there just to eat the biryani,
Oh
like
my
the main
way.
dish.
There's no way.
And there was a specific place and area, and imagine, like, I only flew because I was like, you know what, I wanna taste that food.
Yeah.
And the whole trip for 3 days was only for that.
Wow.
No way.
Like, can you imagine?
I honestly believe
I
that.
mean,
I
mean,
believe
it was
Hiba
very
doing
fun.
that.
Like, this is the kind of thing, like, we don't want to encourage people to actually go and do that, but if you have that kind of, let's say, time, passion, and you would like to do something, I mean, 3 days within the weekend, it's more than enough.
Honestly,
you
it's
could really
perfect.
go and
Yeah.
enjoy your time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like doing multi-city trips, honestly. Like, even if I'm going to Europe, I don't like to be jumping from a place to another because I get annoyed with luggage and outfits and
Yeah,
the planning.
true.
Like, I would rather fly to Milan, come back, and in a week go to Rome. Like, I don't want to be moving around a lot.
Right.
So I think what Hiba did is very justifiable, to be honest.
And it wasn't with luggage. Like,
Yeah.
imagine, I took only the
Carry-on.
carry-on luggage, and it was very peaceful. And I
Amazing.
remember saying that I want to go and just get in the vibes. And I remember taking all the rubatas and stuff that, let's say, Indian culture, traditional outfits. And when I was there, I felt like I was the only Indian there with
Oh,
what
wow.
I was wearing, because it was traditional and stuff. We
Right.
were like wearing jeans, shirts, and everything.
Yeah.
Especially
Definitely.
Bangalore was a university city where people come to study. So most of them are into fashion. And I was like literally wearing the rubatta. And I was like, you know what? I did this wrong, but okay,
No, but you were
She went all
enjoying the
out.
full experience,
Yes,
though, and that's
yes.
different.
I was on Bollywood music all the time. When I was walking, I was just turning on the music, and I was thinking that, like, I'm living in a Bollywood.
Oh, wow.
And you're like, you're meeting
But
Shah Rukh
people-
Khan in a
but
second.
you know what?
Yeah,
People wasn't-
basically.
People wasn't really annoyed. Like,
Wow.
I never thought that people would, let's say, accept it. Like, they weren't, let's say, judging or looking at me in a way, but they were like actually enjoying. So it's like, oh, so it's true. What
Yeah.
happens once music is there? Yeah.
Ladies, I truly believe that getaways are very important, even if you are just going for a day or two. And I know that the Gulf countries are pretty similar. So you're doing the same things in Dubai, Qatar, and Bahrain to Kuwait. It's very similar. But sometimes just leaving the country is so helpful to our soul and helps us like recharge. So I try to do that a lot. Even if I'm going somewhere similar, it doesn't need to be India like Hiba, right? Or very different, but just I try to leave, breathe, have a good time, even if I'm just having lunch and dinner and coming back, but doing
Exactly.
something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can find this even in closer areas, like, or closer countries, as you mentioned, not going very far. But I mean, nowadays the countries like Qatar and Dubai have so many activities and so many things that you can actually experience. You can actually experience like just being in Europe while you're in the Middle East.
That's right.
So many different things that you
Yeah.
can do and try. And, you know, at least for me, every once in a while, this break is needed.
Yes.
I don't like them. Unless if it's like a full vacation.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow.
Like for me, if I'm doing a getaway, it has to be like an actual vacation. Yeah. I like my weekends. I just sit there. I swear, I enjoy staying in my bed, and then I put like a full movie with like good food and everything. The whole day I'm in my bed, and I make sure that it's like full service. I'm getting my drinks. I'm getting my hot chocolate.
Yeah, everything is to be the top of the top. It's my weekend.
At least we know
exactly.
to not contact Fawzi on the weekend.
Yes.
It's serious.
Yes.
It's so true.
It's very
Yeah,
serious.
so having that said, let's take this quick break and then we'll continue on the topic. So one of the things that was very interesting to do actually in Kuwait is that I found that there is a map, and it was presented in many bookstores. So it was what caught my attention is that in this map there was location for specific places to go and visit in Kuwait. And when you look at the, for instance, a museum, you would immediately see that there is a timing, contact number, and many great things to actually do. And then moving on forwards, it was very interesting to actually go and do a checklist on towards what you're doing. And then now within social media, we've seen so many great Kuwaiti youth that are organizing trips, organizing these kind of road trips. Whether it's very far, they would book a very huge bus and they would immediately take you. And there was also a specific theme to it, a 90s theme, 80s theme that you have to wear a style and so. And one of the trips that I really liked and enjoyed is going around Kuwait City in a very let's say different streets and ways, and they would tell you to just enjoy and capture the street, street
Yes.
photography, which is very interesting because you do actually go sometimes, but you don't know where to go or where you're headed. So it's very fun to have someone more of a guide person to tell you about, that this, for instance, a building was in Kuwait since let's say the 70s or since
Right.
the 80s, and you start hearing and listening to people's story about it. So it's very quite interesting that
For sure.
if you want to have fun in Kuwait, then all you need to do is just dig deeper, try to find the places and people who actually provide such things to do and to fill your own weekend as well.
Honestly, I love these kind of maps. I've never really found anything that has to do with that, but I would love that because that's something that I could do on a good Saturday.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Not
Instead
a
of me
Friday.
sleeping, not a Friday
Not
or
a Friday.
Thursday, but Saturday would be perfect because, you know what I mean? I feel like discovering other countries is fun,
Right.
but I really enjoy being home. I really enjoy being in Kuwait, and there's so much to do. There's the little stuff you need to truly dig deep. And I don't know, I would want to give it a try for sure.
Definitely. And I think we always hear there's nothing to do, there's nothing to do. It's always malls and restaurants, but there is so much to do. But you need to just make some effort because even if you're traveling to a foreign country, you will get there and find nothing to do too, unless you look up places to go, museums and different activities to do. So I think people are not looking enough, Atyab.
Definitely, that is correct. And this idea of the map is actually so interesting that helps you, as Hiba said, checking the real activities that you can do, especially something different, going with a group of people, trying something as the 80s and 90s. This is something I find very interesting and something different, not usual like we're used to going to malls and restaurants. But if you dig deeper and search, I'm sure you'll find so many other activities that you can do here.
Definitely, so much to do. Ladies, I even heard that other places have a 3-day weekend, not even a 2-day weekend. I feel like that would be the dream. But the question is, what would we do with the extra day?
So many things, Rita. I'm sure so many things. But on my end is I don't know how is it for us going to adjust the first days, especially we're used to 2 days for forever,
Exactly.
So this one extra day might feel weird in the beginning. You might feel that you have some extra time or an extra day that is empty or without anything that you can
Right.
fill up with. But I'm sure 100% that we do need it. We need it.
Well, to me, it's going to be an extra day abroad, or a day, a day to spend with your friends. Like this day is meant for you. Like this day is
Definitely.
the day where I'm going to book any kind of, let's say, things you want to do. Like this is booked for my friends.
Yeah.
Right.
Until I find something else to fill it with.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be sleeping, Fuzia?
Yeah.
I knew it.
Extra
I
day.
honestly knew Fuzia
Yeah,
was gonna
I
be
can't,
sleeping.
because for me, I really do, like, I love sleep so much, you guys, and I have a hard time just waking up, even for work.
Yeah.
I'm struggling as I.
You're growing though. They say if you need to sleep, that means that you're actually still growing. So
Girl, growing where? I've been the same height since I was like 14.
and don't think about it that way. Think about that you're nurturing yourself, like you're growing
Yeah, I need
with
it.
your
I
thoughts
really
and
do
ideas.
need
Yes,
it.
you're
and becoming more
recovering.
wise,
100%.
you know?
But to be fair, I hate this line. I'm done. So find me another line. But I'll tell you this. I feel like an extra day will make me even lazier.
Oh wow.
Because the weekend is limited. I know there's like a time limit. I know I'm gonna be working. I know I'm gonna be sleeping, and I'm going straight back to work. But an extra day, I'll be slacking off 100%. If I have a hard time waking up in the morning now, with 3 days weekend, I'm not going to
For
work.
me, it was the complete opposite. At a point, I did 9 to 5, obviously Sunday to Thursday as it goes, you know, a very normal job. But we had Wednesdays as work from home.
Okay.
So Sunday till Tuesday, I'm looking forward for Wednesday. So I know I can, instead of wake up at 7:30 a.m., I can wake up at 9.
I love
because
that.
I can start working at 9, right? I can make my coffee comfortably. And I could finish my work while doing other things that usually I'd need to do on the weekend. So when the weekend came, I actually used it for myself. I wasn't, you know, doing things around the house or getting things ready for the week, you know what I mean? Because to go to work, you need clothes ready. You have salon appointments, you have doctor appointments, you have a lot of things to happen. So I try to schedule everything on that work from home day while doing my work, obviously, right? And then the weekend would absolutely be for myself. So
Sounds great.
it's
I mean, you
interesting.
mentioned a very important thing, which is talking about appointments and clinics to visit. What's really difficult is why don't you make it, let's say, for the weekend? Like, say, doctors could
So
work in the
true.
weekend because this is the only, let's say, day that we have for us
Exactly.
to actually get occupied when it comes into filling the things that we need to do, instead of finding a squeezed time in Thursday and then squeezing it again in Saturday. I mean, they could actually use Friday. I mean, they could take Sunday off.
Exactly.
And Friday would be the time where they actually provide appointment for a different
right.
client, because I believe like this is one of the things that's really difficult for me is to have that time to actually book an appointment with our busy schedule. We can fill Friday with appointments.
That's right. And we don't even have schedules, to be honest. We don't know what every week is going to look like when it comes to filming. Our filming days are very random. So
Yeah.
even booking an appointment, like for example, some doctors or appointments need to be filmed, booked in advance. We
Right.
can't even do that, ladies.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm getting really tired. We've had a really great conversation
Yeah.
today, and I'll see you again.